Hello and welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heaven Thinking. Today I want to challenge you on Ephesians chapter 5, verses 3 through 5. So I'll read it and we'll get right into this week's challenge. But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality, or of any kind of impurity, or of greed, because these are improper for God's holy people. Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, or coarse joking, which are out of place, but rather thanksgiving. For of this you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person, such a person as an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. These verses always stand out to me as kind of a harsh warning, something that quickly grabs my attention and should be something that prompts us to reflect upon our own lives and the behavior that we exhibit in our lives as Christians. Because these verses are very pointed, and they tell us quite plainly that no immoral, impure, or greedy person has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. It's a very pointed challenge this week that we see in this chapter, but it should spark you and I to really reflect in our lives and see, what are we doing? What are the things that we are doing that are immoral or impure, or that show that we are greedy? And how can we take steps day in and day out to not be immoral, impure, or greedy? And these are attributes, and then the list that precedes these, that goes into more detail, these are things that the world celebrates and indulges in every day. And so we are bombarded with these things, and the world just says it's natural, it's normal, it's no big deal. But as Christians, we look at this verse, and it is a very big deal, because we're warned that if we are immoral, impure, or greedy, there's no inheritance then in the kingdom of Christ and of God. That's a serious charge, a serious consequence for disobedience and sin. And so we as Christians, we have to be intentional with the way we live our lives, that we avoid indulging in things that are immoral, impure, or greedy, and that we encourage other people to not partake in these things, that we point people to living a pure lifestyle instead of an impure one, a moral one instead of an immoral one that isn't about greed, but it is about following after Jesus. It's important that we reflect on this and we take steps to actually root out these immoral practices that the world has influenced with to partake in, and then that we encourage others not to do it as well, so that we can encourage people to pursue this inheritance in the kingdom of Christ, rather than pursue the things of the world that keep us and prevent us from experiencing the things that God has for us. That's my challenge and encouragement for you this week, and I hope you'll join us next time for another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking.